Hello, and welcome to the Nerdiest Podcast, the podcast where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm your host, Nick Barrett, and today I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Jackson Glass.
Hey, was Papa lockin'? Nope, let me try that again. Hey, how we doing? No. Just
I thought you said you had one ready.
Come back to me.
Okay.
Oh,
and
no.
Here...
I remembered what it was.
What?
So, this is my opening story. So, I made a really niche reference the other day that I'm actually really proud of. So, I was in someone else's Instagram picture. And I zoomed in and I said, "There I am, Gary." And then someone else said, "Who the heck is Gary?" And I then proceeded to explain that there was an episode of SpongeBob where they filmed a commercial, and he was very excited about his part in the commercial, but he was only in the corner of like one shot. And he said, "There I am, Gary." And so anytime I'm in someone else's Instagram pictures, that's what you say. "There I am, Gary." But they were like, "Who's Gary?" I was like, "Gary the snail." They're like, "Do you have a pet snail named Gary?" And I was like, "No, SpongeBob does." And I proceeded to explain, and they're like, "I think you are the only person who has ever said that." So that's my opening story.
Anyway, moving on from whatever that train wreck was, we're also joined today with a special guest. I know it's been a hot minute since we've had a special guest. Miss Megan with no H, back again. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing mentally unstable.
Aren't we all?
So at the time we are recording this, Taylor Swift just released Red, Taylor's version,
Take me home.
and I just stayed up all night listening to it. And listen, I'm also mentally unwell for another whole other reason because, you know, last night I got done listening to Taylor's version of Red, and I was like, wow, that was a great journey.
We have to address something really serious here.
Yeah, this is very serious. So I go on Instagram, and my favorite actress / songwriter, Cozy Zillsdorf, who played Hazel in Dolphin Tale, posted something like Winter the Dolphin with a heartbreak emoji, and I was like, that's weird. Let me go check the page, the CMA. And I go on there, and Winter the Dolphin has passed away, and I broke down right there because she played such a big part in my life. Like in 4th grade, I went down to the Clearwater Mead Aquarium to go see her and did a summer camp, and it was like a whole thing. So it hit me like really hard.
Moment of silence for Winter the Dolphin. So Nick, how you doing?
Wow, great segue. It was funny. In that moment of silence, I have like I think Jackson and I are both listening to like the Nintendo music in the background. And while there was the moment of silence, it was just like the afternoon music from Animal Crossing.
Moment of silence.
I was like, wow, what a great moment of silence. So how am I doing? I'm doing great. I want to take a moment to flex that I went in GameStop today and I did not spend any money, which is a first for me. Because usually I have like the impulse, which I was going to get Metroid Dread. But last week, I actually bought something other than Metroid Dread. Not to flex on anyone, and you know, this is a very video podcast thing, but I did buy the Nintendo Switch OLED. I got the white just the white Joy-Con one. Wow. Which, funny story, I went into Target the other day and I was going to get Metroid Dread, and then I saw they had the OLED and I was like, well, let's think rationally.
It's not that much
Metroid
money.
Dread. Yeah, it's not that much more than Metroid Dread. And also, Metroid Dread is going to be in stock all the time, and Switch OLED, not so much. So I decided to buy Switch OLED.
Too.
Yeah,
Megan
I have
has one.
OLED too. Thanks to Nick. Because he did, because I had work when the pre-orders dropped, so he literally went on and got the pre-order for me, and then I just paid him back.
Wow.
I was in school when it happened
you,
too.
Nick.
So big flex.
I didn't realize you were both in the top 1%.
See,
over here.
Here's the thing though. I had an OLED pre-order. Like, I went ahead and, because when I pre-ordered Megan's, I was in school and I was like, you know what, just for funsies, because I was like on the fence about getting one or not, and I was like, you know what, just for funsies, let's see if I can pre-order another one on my account, because I didn't know if they were going to do a limit. And I pre-ordered it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I have an OLED. And then, like, a month later, I was like, yeah, I can't financially afford this. I think I'm going to not get an OLED. So I canceled the OLED, and then literally 2 weeks later, I was like, you know what? I want an iPad. So I worked, and I saved up, and I bought an iPad, which cost the exact same as the OLED.
He worked really hard for that iPad, too.
And then
I watched the strife.
2 weeks later... 2 weeks later, after getting the iPad, the OLED shows up in stores, and I'm like, "Hey, man, listen, it ain't gonna be in stock forever, so I gotta jump on it while the getting is good."
That's funny.
He actually bought it in the morning, and he texted both of us in a group chat.
Yeah,
I did.
And he's like, "Guys, I want to get it." I no joke. I phone called him. It was like minutes after I woke up, and I was like, "Nick,
don't get it."
He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Did you get it?" He's like, "Yeah," and I'm like.
No. You're not capturing the comedic moment.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You're not capturing the comedic moment. I was sitting in the car. You called me, and I was like, I had this big smile on my face because I knew exactly what you were calling me for. And you were like, Nick, and I was like, this is he. And she was like, did you buy that OLED?
So
and I said,
official.
well, considering the fact that I just strapped it in with the seatbelt in the front seat of my car in the Target parking lot, I'd like to say the answer to that question is yes, but I can neither confirm nor deny that I bought the Nintendo Switch OLED white model that was at Target, and everything proceeded on from there. So, see, now that Megan and I both have one, we can peer pressure Jackson into getting one.
So Jackson,
Join the gang. If Jackson gets one, we can be the Triforce of Switch OLED users.
If you smash that like button, if this video gets 3 likes, smash that like button. I think we can hit it, guys. 3 likes. I will.
If this
someday,
video gets 3 likes,
someday,
and then
I will
all
buy
3 of
an
us
OLED.
just like the video.
If this video gets 3 likes,
it's
someday
me.
I will buy an
It's
OLED.
me on 3 different accounts. Just like the video. Yes. Sending my friend into crippling debt.
So while you're on it, OLED thoughts came out this year. This is the
Whoa.
2021 Nintendo recap. OLED is out. This isn't necessarily the Switch Pro that we wanted, but it's the next best thing. So thoughts, grievances, quarrels.
So here's what I'm going to say. We're recording this November 12th. So anything that happens after this date, which shouldn't be anything massive, although I'll say that, and then at the Game Awards next month, they'll drop like a title, date, and new trailer for Breath of the Wild 2. So,
but that's not even this
maybe
year.
Maybe this is the jinx that I need for them to do that. But more on that later. So yeah, OLED. I think when I first saw the reveal trailer, which by the way, they just dropped that sucker. They didn't, no preamble, nothing. Like it just showed up on Twitter one day. I woke up and I was like, whoa, Switch Pro? And I remember watching the trailer and like it had all the things like the bigger screen and the new dock with the LAN port and the wider stand.
The LAN port,
and I
oh my
remember in the
gosh!
whole
The
video,
LAN
like,
port. Everyone's waiting for the LAN port,
whoa!
everyone.
it was everything that the leakers had said the Switch Pro was going to be, minus the like more power in the 4K. So I just remember watching that whole trailer and I was like, so 4K, where is it? No 4K, no better power, graphics, nothing? Nope. Okay. I mean, I don't really play handheld, so I'm probably not going to get it. Here we are, a few months later.
You played handheld last
Nervous
night.
laughter. Yeah, I will say, I think for me, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but then once I had it in my hands and like you could hear the better sound quality, you can see the better quality on the screen, it makes me want to play handheld more. Now, I don't have a Satisfy grip, not sponsored, but listen, gang, if you're looking to play your Switch handheld, please buy a Satisfy grip. It improves your handheld gaming so much. Like I can't even describe how much it changed me playing handheld. Like it makes it so much more comfortable, and it's great. Now, if you do want,
Do we have an affiliate for that? Do we have an affiliate?
we do. I put it on the website. It's for the
Gotta
old
plug
one.
that.
The older Satisfy grip will not fit the Switch OLED, which is disappointing, which means I have to get a new one. But it's fine. I love paying more or not paying more, but like I would happily buy from them again. American-based company, always good, and it's high quality. It's not like the cheap, Switch accessories. They're very high quality and it's very good, so I highly recommend. So yeah, once I get one of those for my OLED, it'll be perfect, peak perfection. Jackson can't say anything because he doesn't have one.
No.
Megan, how do you feel about the OLED?
Oh, I love it. So I got it. I think it arrived a few days late after it came out because it came through GameStop, I think.
GameStop sucks at
But I
shipping,
remember,
by the way.
I had to call Jackson because I couldn't figure out how to, move some stuff. I was like, Jackson, I don't know what to do.
She said, I need a tech person. And I was like, all right.
Yeah. But I started playing, I think I played Animal Crossing first. And I cannot lie that the sound quality is so much better. For example, if I'm walking, on stone in Animal Crossing, you can hear, it sounds so crisp and nice. And I think it just, crisp and nice. It sounds really good. And then visually, it looks so much better. It's more vibrant. I think it looks so much nicer. I now play, I've always played handheld a lot. I do enjoy playing handheld. But ever since I got my Pro Controller, I've been on my TV. But I do play, if it's late at night and I don't really want to just, face my TV, I might want to play some music on my TV and just, lay in bed and just play on my Switch. So I'll just do that. But I love it. It's amazing.
So the normal Switch has the 2 speakers on the sides. If you're facing the back, there's 2 separate speakers. Does the OLED just have one, or is it still just the 2 split?
So, as far as I know, looking at it, the speakers are now on the front.
Oh.
I'm going to try to show you here. So, if you can see on my camera, right here on both sides, the speakers are on the front now, which is partly why it sounds so much better. Because it's not traveling from behind; it's coming straight at you. So it makes a difference.
Big brain. I think the LAN port is absolutely hilarious because we bought after the OLED was announced, we went on Amazon and bought. There's an official licensed Nintendo Ethernet, USB to Ethernet for your Switch for $11. So I essentially, when plugged in, I have an OLED.
No, you don't. You have an OLED dock. You don't have an OLED though.
Now I can host Monopoly servers even better.
Pog.
We're having game night tonight.
Let's go!
Woo!
I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I feel like I'm definitely going to beat you guys at Monopoly.
Frick.
See, we're playing Monopoly, Animal Crossing, and Pico Park, so
I will win at all 3.
How
will I win at Animal Crossing?
You can't win Pico Park.
You can win Animal Crossing, actually. That's
and I beat all of you.
Let's just say
Let's
just say I've lost Animal Crossing already.
Out of the 3 of us, I don't know what you mean by beat, but I have more bells than both of you combined, so...
Yeah, but I have 485 hours in Animal Crossing, so...
You've played longer. How do we know you're not leaving your Switch on overnight?
I don't!
You see, we go off the honor system. This is a Christian podcast. Lying is a sin.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So, going to Brewster's in Animal Crossing will be the closest thing I will ever get to going to coffee with you. With both of you. Because I'm the only coffee drinker here. And so... Animal Crossing.
Run a coffee podcast, so
link in the description.
Yeah.
No.
Oh man,
I will not.
But big sad. Yeah, that's the closest thing I'll ever get to going to coffee with you. How do we? I just got an email.
I tried some coffee. It wasn't.
Speaking of Brewster and Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing got a pretty substantial update recently. This year.
It's so good.
It's
so
we
good.
Finally went up to 2.0 and we got the Happy Home Paradise DLC for $25, which
I bought it.
Holy heckers, gang.
I pre-ordered it. The day it came out for pre-order, I was like, buy. Immediate buy. You know
So-
how Nick rewatches the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer? Yeah, that was me with the Animal Crossing update
But the
trailer.
direct
'Cause
was
I was
20
like,
minutes
this is
long.
the best thing
It
ever.
was 20
She
minutes
just
long.
rewatches the 20 minutes all the time.
Well, you see,
She's
they
actually
uploaded-
responsible for the spike in Nintendo's watch time.
General thoughts
But, like,
on
So-
the
they
update?
had, like, the DLC. I
Yeah,
have-
how do
I
we
have
feel
many
about
thoughts.
the DLC overall? Go.
I think, well, I'm the only one who has the DLC.
Yeah,
Um,
asking you specifically.
It's amazing. So, where's my DS? Okay, well, I have my DS somewhere, and I have Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, and I finished that game in a day. Like, I love that game. I still go on and play it sometimes if I feel creative, but now I have this. So, I think it's so much fun. They added so many more features, and, like, for example, in Happy Home Designer, if you like built a cafe or anything, you can't like do anything. You can buy things at the cafe. You can go to the hospital and they can like give you medical treatment. like when I found that out, it blew me away. And obviously we have pillars and partition walls, and they are incredible. I have gotten so creative, and I've brought like some of my villagers to the island archipelago. And I've built them like mansions because I'm like, you deserve it.
You deserve it,
And
King.
also,
This is
so
for you,
that's the
Hamlet.
DLC. If you love like just decorating the houses, which is something I love to do, go get it. You will love it. And as for the update, I also really enjoy that. I haven't started farming yet because I've been so busy with the DLC. But I like have the stuff. I love Harv's Island. I love how convenient it is to go buy crops and rugs. And I love Red's stuff because he brought it back as raffle, but for things that villagers hold. I kept playing until I got the book. Because I needed that handheld book. And I'll probably be redoing my entire house and
Yeah,
some of
I
my
think the
island.
saddest part, like the update, incredible. That like, thank you so much, Nintendo. Like, it's so crazy when like, because you're so used to like speculating and wanting things in a game, and then it's just like none of that. And so like they actually gave what everyone wanted, and that's crazy. The only thing is, a lot of people were done with their islands, and now it's like, oh, it's time
we're
to.
like, what do we
it's time to
do?
come- It's like, do I just remove this or do I start over? Like, what do we? So
Yeah, like
I
I had to
think-
make space for a farm.
yeah, I think right now is the best time to start playing Animal Crossing.
Absolutely.
But if you're done, like I'm not close to done. I'm like halfway through my island completion. Not that you could ever be done, but like really you can finish your island. I'm like halfway and I'm like getting there. So I'm fine, but like y'all's islands were done. It was like, dang.
I mean, I feel
Mine
like
was
there's
done.
definitely I can make improvements to mine. I'm nowhere near done. Like I'm moving at a very slow pace because like I'm trying to go for a Japanese like Zen style island, so I have to wait to get a lot of those DIYs and items and all that. So it's kind of a slower process for me. In terms of the update overall, here's what I'm gonna say. Is back at the beginning of the year when we did our predictions, which we're going to review our predictions from the beginning of the year and see what we got right and what we got wrong. One of the things I said is if they're going to do Animal Crossing, I thought they should just port New Leaf to the Switch because I was so dissatisfied with New Horizons because like the content had really slowed down and all that. But that Animal Crossing Direct, like, listen, I went into that direct saying, all you gotta do to get me back is bring back Cap'n and the sea shanties. It was like 5 minutes and they brought back Cap'n and the sea shanties. And I was like, okay, you got me on
We
the
have a
hook.
video of
And
you
then
reacting to that, don't we?
I think we do somewhere. I don't know if it has audio, but
Maybe?
it's here
Oh,
somewhere.
I do
Yeah.
have a video. Yeah.
Might need to post
So,
Yeah.
it-
No audio, but it's Nick
Bah.
with his reaction.
they added all this stuff like cooking, and which by the way you can kill sea bass now, which I think is my favorite part of the update. Is I have so on my island I have this like sea bass in the corner, like all the way up. He's in one of the like the fish containers, but he's pushed up against the water so he can see his home water but realize that he can never go back to it. And then when the update came out, I did like whatever the grilled sea bass recipe is, and I put it right in front of his tank so that he can see, if you dare defy me, I will kill you and cook you alive. Into
He also
a recipe.
put malice around him.
I did.
Like, you found some malice.
Yeah. And then there's like little malice deposits breaking out all over my island, and it's like all the source of all evil is just
the sea bass. The sea bass are the source of all evil in Animal Crossing.
I will say, I think the farming is really cool. It's a cool concept. I wish there was a better way to organize it, because when you throw it in your storage, it just kind of goes in there. And I almost wish they had like Minecraft-esque storage where you can have like certain chests or like certain storage units specifically for crops.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of confusing, like shuffle through all my stuff just to get through to the crops. Harv's Island is really cool. I'm glad we could like pin down some of those NPCs and they have exclusive items. My only nitpick with that is they refresh like once a week. So I kind of wish they refreshed like maybe not daily, but like twice a week. Because like Red's paintings and stuff only refreshes once a week.
When you buy something from Red, it refreshes that one. Because I bought like a real painting from there. And then it replaced it with the fake Rosetta Stone. So.
Oh. I have not been able to get Harv's Island to work. It's really weird. Every time I go over there, it's still just the photo studio.
Here's the thing. All you gotta do, just start the island over. Just start everything over, and then you can be the one in charge instead of Sam.
Your siblings would be very happy with that.
You see, the problem is, we got Animal Crossing, and we have 4 people sharing one island, and then they all fell off, and now I'm here to like clean up the mess.
That's what I'm saying, just start over.
Start over. Hey, get
wipe it.
3
Start
likes
over.
on this video, and I can have my own island.
Get your
on my
own OLED. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Your own Animal Crossing. I will say, when I was watching the update, like it was very early in the morning, and I remember like I was just sitting in bed watching it, and I was shocked. Like my jaw was dropped the entire time. I was like, we asked for this, and we asked for this too, and this too.
It's
and we asked for that too. And I was like, wait a minute, we asked for the storage. And
Nintendo
Brewster
listened
and
to us?
Captain and nailing down the traveling NPCs and all of this stuff. And I'm like, and then the DLC dropped, and I'm like, what?
Nintendo listened?
Speaking of Nintendo listening, does anybody else have anything to say about Animal Crossing before I transition into the next point?
No, I'm good.
Good?
Wow.
Okay. Speaking of Nintendo listening, let's talk about when Nintendo didn't listen. And, or more accurately, not that they didn't listen, it's that they didn't speak at all. Gang, February 21st, 2021 was the 35th anniversary of the Legend of Zelda franchise, and Nintendo said nothing. Like, literally nothing. And we're all like, okay, well, maybe that's because, we're still in the Mario anniversary, and, like, we need to get out of that marketing cycle. And, yeah, we have Skyward Sword, but that's not really a part of the anniversary. So, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Everything's coming. And then nothing came.
Yeah.
We got a new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, which obviously very exciting, and the 2022 release date.
Well, no release date, but
everyone's saying November 2022, so my God, I have to wait another year, but it's fine. And we got a Game & Watch, and Mr. Eiji Onuma himself said, "This is all we have planned. This is all we have planned for the 35th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda." And I'm like, what happened? Wow. Because the 25th anniversary they did something, the 30th anniversary, the 20th way back when. And the 35th just is nothing. Now, an insider said that, like, COVID had a lot to do with it. Like, COVID kind of, like, Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to come out this year. But because everything got bumped back, it kind of, there wasn't really anything to do other than Skyward Sword. So, I think, is it sad that nothing happened? Yes. But there's also a part of me that thinks maybe it just got pushed to next year. And maybe next year when they have a new big Zelda game coming, they'll be like, okay, so let's ramp it up, and here's all of your collectibles and amiibo reprints and whatever that you want. So,
yeah, I think it was really sad when they didn't say anything. I remember there was there was like some big outrage, not just from us, but in general. The Instagram feed was kind of lit, but it was just like, I question like how many times do we have to say, well, maybe it'll be this time, maybe it'll be this time. Like, at what point do we just have to say they didn't do anything? Well, the Game & Watch was so stupid. No one enjoyed that. No one wants.
It's just
that.
a reprint of the Mario one. It's just
Yeah.
the Zelda Mario one. That's it. There's no like creative. Like, they didn't even do like let's do a Zelda themed OLED or anything. Which
there wasn't
who
even a
knows? Maybe
merch
that's
drop.
coming next year. Maybe that's coming next year when they have a new Zelda game and they'll do a Zelda themed OLED in which my wallet will start crying because I will have just bought an OLED. But
also,
whatever.
what's with the new Zelda clothesline? Like, I saw like one post about that, and then like never.
And then
heard,
it disappeared.
Never heard about it again.
I don't know.
Maybe next year.
I know.
Close to.
Here's the thing.
I'd wear it.
Japan got a ton of new Zelda merch this year, but none of it got brought stateside. And even when it did, it was locked specifically to the Nintendo New York store, and they're not even selling it online. Nintendo, like, I don't think they think things all the way through because they're like, yeah, we'll sell it at the Nintendo of New York store, and then it'll be super exclusive. And it's like, well, yeah, but half your audience,
get there.
like literally a majority of your audience does not live in New York.
Yeah.
So why don't you just put it online so
Yeah.
that
How did
the
us
rest
fare?
of us can buy it? Listen,
it or
'cause
not.
they actually had some really fire Skyward Sword merch, which, by the way, I know you guys, which I don't want to out you guys on a podcast or anything, but I'm going to anyway.
Do it.
You're not real Zelda fans. You are Breath of the Wild fans because you made it like 10 minutes into Skyward Sword and gave up
That
because
is
it
true.
wasn't the same like open world experience as Breath of the Wild.
Listen,
which
it got very
me?
unentertaining.
I played Skyward Sword all the way through, and I only had to use a guide like 3 times because it got really confusing, and I like had exhausted all of my options and didn't know what to do. So it wasn't like I didn't get it immediately, I need to look up a guide. Like, I genuinely tried to figure it out, and I had a lot of fun. I played motion controls the whole time. I could not stand the button controls. I tried it, and I didn't like it. Which, big flex, I'm such a Nintendo shill. Not only did I get Skyward Sword, but I also got the Joy-Cons, and I got the Amiibo, so I feel really satisfied
Yeah,
with myself
no,
on
don't
getting everything.
feel free to out because it's just the truth. It's just
Yeah.
Skyward Sword.
I wanted to like
I
it
wanted
really
to.
bad.
I wanted to like it
Yeah.
so bad. I wanted to be so entertained by it so bad. I wanted to really want to play. Every time I played, I was like,
This isn't
I was
entertaining.
like, guys, this isn't it. Like,
I couldn't kill them. You just those little piranha plants.
Yeah.
I could not do it the right way. I'm like, I'm hitting it the right way, and it's not doing it.
I tried motions. I tried buttons. I really liked the opening sequence is like 30 minutes long of just dialogue.
Okay, the cutscenes are really pretty.
They're
like, I have some
beautiful.
screenshots, and I'm like, that's why I want to play it. And then Zelda disappears, and I'm like, of course Zelda disappears.
Yeah. But it looks
Now,
like a different.
here's my
Zelda
question.
makes the game good.
Get good.
Here's my question, which this will like move into my next segment. If Breath of the Wild 2 is more linear, like Skyward Sword, will you still play it? Because,
Probably.
well, yes, I think they're still going to stick with that open world. I think there's going to be a lot more of a story because there's like, you can't go back to memories again.
Yeah.
There's no way because all the memories were explored in the first game. So you're going to have to do a present day story,
true.
which would require you to be a little more linear than the first game. So obviously I'm going to play it either way. I love Zelda. That new trailer, like, I kid you not, I was watching the E3 Direct and I was getting really nervous because they were like, oh, it'll be roughly 40 minutes of new whatever. And that was literally the only thing I wanted out of that Direct was a
Yeah.
new Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. Preferably a release date for like next week in November.
Where was I? I was in.
You weren't even here.
I was in
You were
Colorado.
off on like a camping trip or
Yeah,
something.
I was in Colorado.
And Megan was at work, so I couldn't tell her anything.
I was in Telluride, Colorado, which is a really bougie place that I don't go to.
Colin
very
and I
often.
did Colin and I did record an episode. If you guys want to go back and listen to it,
did incredible.
It actually did pretty good because you guys,
but it was
talk about
hilarious.
Nintendo.
It was hilarious because we were like camping on this like at like 8,000 feet, but we had like great Wi-Fi for whatever reason. So we're like in this beautiful mountainscape, like, oh look, Guardians of the Galaxy game. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, and that Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, it left me shaking, man. Like, I was out of breath from screaming. I was
of the wild,
literally shaking. Like, whew.
I was out of breath.
I had to take a breath. I had to take a breath in the wild. It was great. Any other thoughts on Breath of the Wild 2? Not like we can really say much. Zelda's dead, by the way. She died.
No, I don't think she's going to die.
Rip.
But
she's dead.
I still want to play as her. I think I said this last time when we recorded the Nintendo thing. But, like, I want to play as her, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think she's going to fall in a
think
hole, and then you're going to have to go save her, and then it's going to be boring. Well, not boring, but you know what I mean.
It won't be, yeah. I think
we'll still get to play as her.
I'm wondering,
I have hope.
Do you think that we will potentially see some aspects of Age of Calamity bleed into Breath of the Wild 2? Or do you think that's going to stay its own thing?
I think that'll stay its own thing. They usually don't, like, because the Age of Calamity, like the Hyrule Warriors games, are their own genre of games. I think there might be some story beats that come over, like Terraco might come over, like that kind of thing. But I don't think they're gonna like bring any of the gameplay aspects over. Now, in terms of playing Zelda, I think, like, especially if she gets separated from Link, it might be something kind of like how you choose now, like, do you want to play in normal mode or master mode? You can choose, like, do you want to play as Zelda for this session or do you want to play as Link for this session? And then at some point, you'll reach a point with Zelda where you need to go play as Link in order for it to be at, like, the same story point before you can move forward.
Yeah, the stories could split.
Right. And then once you get to the end of the game, because here's how I see it playing out. Zelda and Link, they're together, so you can choose, and it doesn't really matter at the beginning, and then they'll get separated. And then you'll have to, pick one or the other, and then play through both of them. And then when it converges together, that'll be your, like, end game, in air quotes. Kind of like how in Breath of the Wild, you can beat Ganon, but, you don't really beat him because it takes you back to before you did.
Yeah.
That's where that state will be, so that way you can choose to play as Link or Zelda at any time, and you can go back and forth. And I think they're going to do that. Or, which I started playing Astral Chain recently, and in Astral Chain, you just pick, because, like, there's a brother and a sister, so you pick one of them to play as, and then the other one is still there in the story.
Does it just flip
which
the
obviously
roles?
Kind of, yeah.
Like Link would just fall in a hole.
Yeah, I guess. And which it seems like Link is definitely gonna, like, based on that second trailer, they're definitely gonna want you to pick him because there's a lot more there for him than it seems like there will be for her. But I don't know. I have my fingers crossed at the Game Awards next month because the original Breath of the Wild 2 gameplay trailer was at the Game Awards. It won Game of the Year 2017, and the DLC was revealed there in 2017. So they have a good history, and Smash is over. Sora in Smash, by the way, great addition. Unparalleled vibes. I watched that in class with a bunch of my classmates. We all were, like, sitting in the back of the classroom, had the Sakurai Presents pulled up on all our individual computers watching it together. It was great. But they don't have any more Smash characters to show at the Game Awards, so they need something big. And Splatoon 3 and Bayonetta were both in the last Direct. So
Bayonetta.
I think it leaves us very open for something Zelda at the Game Awards, but who knows?
I will say, in Age of Calamity, they made Zelda a boss. Like, she
gets a motorcycle.
I'm saying, she's a
if you buy the
motorcycle. She's cool. Like,
she's
she
a gamer.
Fight. Like, she's no damsel in distress. She can fight.
She's a girl boss.
Her powers. Yeah, she's a girl boss. And literally, like, they shouldn't turn on that. Especially, like, in Breath of the Wild 2. Because I loved playing as Zelda. I still do. She's my favorite person to play as. And it's like, you gotta let her, like...
At what point will
Let her
she
do
be
something.
free? At what
'cause
point
she's
will she be
very
free
capable.
of the king's hand? Well, I mean, but
Well, she's free now because he's dead.
rip.
He's dead.
He dead
Doobie
now.
dead.
He kind of dead
He
though.
do be dead though. Rip.
Rip.
Pour one out for King. What's his name?
Hyrule,
King Rome, Bosphoramus,
Bosphoramus, Hyrule.
No wonder I didn't remember.
Can we
his
talk about
name.
how Zelda's last name is Zelda Hyrule? Oh wait, no. It's Zelda Bosphoramus Hyrule because Hyrule, Bosphoramus is hyphenated with Hyrule. So poor Zelda.
The name's
Bosphoramus Hyrule.
The name's Hyrule. Zelda Bosphoramus Hyrule. No.
I saw a satire article where it's like, because Mario's canon last name is Mario, so he's Mario, Luigi Mario, and I saw a satirical article that's like, oh yeah, Link's last name is Link, and I'm like, yes, finally,
Link.
Zelda Link.
Zelda Link.
That's what we've been waiting for.
Zelda
Zelda Link.
Link. Do you think final thought?
So now we can say that Zelda is Link. Or Link is Zelda.
Final thought. Do you think they'll actually get Link and Zelda together in this game?
No. Actually,
never do.
I want them
want
to.
them
well, okay, hold on. They were confirmed canonically together in Ocarina of Time.
Really?
Yes. And it's very, very, very strongly implied that they are together at the end of Skyward Sword. Like,
Okay.
if you losers would have played through the story, you would have seen that there was a
Wow.
romantic relationship between Link and Zelda in that game. Like, his literal plot motivation is, I need to save my friend Zelda because I think I love
My
her.
friend.
Or whatever.
My
My air quotes friend. Like, Skyward Sword is the most emotional Link you will ever see. Like,
Ugh.
he literally gets emotional over plot things that happen. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it.
All I'll say.
But by the end, they could be together. I think
I'll say is
Breath of the Wild 2 could be breaking boundaries, could be doing things. I think they should. I think Breath of the Wild
this
is
is
the
our first.
closest Zelda we've ever got.
This is the first
but, you know.
M-rated Zelda game we've ever had. Like, what's up?
Oh my gosh.
No.
Wait.
Nintendo wouldn't go there.
Cut off
M-rated Zelda, and it's not even...
And it's
Yeah,
just
it's not even for, like,
blood,
the reasons you'd think. It's just blood and gore, man.
blood and gore.
Go
It's
for
like
that Red Dead Redemption 2
it's
vibe.
like GTA but Zelda.
No,
he,
no.
like, goes around the
That's
villages.
the wrong...
Goes around the villages.
That's the wrong prediction. That's the wrong way to go for that. Anyway, moving on. So I put a point out here. Nintendo Directs returned, 2 of which we all 3 watched together.
Yeah, we did.
The only one we didn't watch
Vibes.
was the E3 one, but that just didn't work out for us.
I was at work.
But yeah, I think out of the 3, which one was the best one in your opinion?
Recap the 3 for me.
So February was the really long, like 55-minute one that like a half hour of it felt like filler.
Is that what
Oh,
we
is that
did?
it
when
was
I
the
was there
first
in
one.
person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one we
Yeah.
did the live stream recap for. And then there was the E3 one, which had like Metroid Dread, Mario Party Superstars, Breath of the Wild 2 trailer.
Yeah.
And then September was the one where they were like, we're going to give you, we're going to give you the Smash reveal at a later date, Animal Crossing at a later date, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack at a later date.
And Disney Magical World 2!
Oh yeah, I was waiting for her to bring that up.
There were
Also-
tears the second that Disney Magical World came on. And
Oh, I
like-
was crying.
I was like, I
Crying.
can't relate, but like, good for you.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
because
I'm like,
it was my
I
comfort
don't
game.
understand.
Disney Magical World 2 was my comfort game when I moved, like, across the country.
Ugh.
And literally, like, I had my DS, and it was like $20, and
Come
I
to
was like,
Switch.
I'll get it. And I loved the game. It's so fun. It's cute. It's just a fun little Disney game. And when I saw it was coming to the Switch, I was like, oh my gosh. My comfort game is coming to the Switch. I am never going to recover from this. Like,
I will never financially recover.
I will never
from this.
financially recover from this.
Quick thoughts, 30 seconds or less. How do you guys feel about the expansion pack for Switch Online with N64 and the Sega Genesis?
I'll go
No.
At
first.
$50,
I'll go
too
first.
expensive.
as someone who never was into Sonic games, which I really think that like the Sega expansion pack, that's really the only thing they're kind of have going for them. In my opinion, I never grew up playing Sega games, so like I don't really care. I'd rather just do the one-time purchase of the Animal Crossing DLC. Yeah, I just don't think it's really worth it for me, but if you enjoy those games, then it's the same way that like the SNES games are worth it for me because I really enjoy those. But like if you have that experience with Sega, go for it, but I don't have any intention of getting it.
For me,
Fair.
I don't like it because I don't think Nintendo thought it through. Where it's like, oh yeah, you can get the DLC for Animal Crossing through it, but like, what if you don't want the DLC? Or like, what if you don't want the expansion anymore? Then you just lose the DLC.
Yeah.
Like, I permanently bought the DLC because I want to make sure I have it like forever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Which
also,
honestly is the best way to get it.
It really is.
Exactly. And also, like, none of the games seem really appealing. I never played any of those old Zelda games or any of the other ones. And it wouldn't be worth it for me. And plus, it is very expensive. And I wouldn't play it.
I
as
forgot.
much, so it's not worth
is
it.
it Ocarina of Time that's going? That's that's probably their main selling point. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that one right there. It literally the amount of times since the expansion pack came out that I've considered just like drop in the $30 just so I could play Ocarina of Time, but I can't because one, I'm voting with my wallet and saying that this is too much for too little.
Yeah.
And also I've heard the port job was really bad. Like it's just not the best way to
And
play.
it's
So
annual.
I'll just keep
Lots of
playing it on my
glitches.
3DS.
And it's annual. Like it's $30
I never understood
more
why they
as
didn't
you
bring
keep
back. They need to bring back the Virtual Console from like the Wii and the Wii U, where you know.
Bring back Wii games.
you can
if
just
they brought
buy-
like, Wii Sports and all that.
Reboot
I don't
Wii
understand
Sports!
why they never did that, but whatever.
The Mii Vamp needs to happen. We're still on about the Mii Vamp.
We're so close.
We're so close.
So
Not
close.
really,
We got
but we're
Miitopia
so
this
close.
year.
We get
Well, yeah.
Tomodachi Life.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about Miitopia.
Tomodachi Life has to be coming next year. Miitopia sold over 3 million, I think.
Wow. I mean,
Actually,
I bought
wait, no, that was Skyward Sword that sold over 3 million. Miitopia hit 1 million because they talked about it in their last investors call. So, in the September Direct, we got a very peculiar announcement from Mr. Miyamoto. We finally got some information on the Mario movie.
Yeah.
And the cast has seemed to... Well, actually, not the whole cast. Literally one actor has seemed to draw a lot of controversy. And I'm just going to read the whole list of the cast to refresh your guys' mind. So we have Chris Pratt as Mario, Charlie Day as Luigi, Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach, Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, and Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. And, of course, Charles Martinet will be in there. Now, Chris Pratt being Mario has drawn a lot of criticism and a lot of mixed feelings out of people. And, I mean, I like Chris Pratt, obviously, as an actor and as a person and, like, all that. And I just don't understand why people don't like him being cast as Mario. Like, I was having a conversation with someone in class today, and they were like, yeah, I think all of the other castings are fine, but, you know, they could have gotten an actual voice actor to play Mario. And I'm like...
He is a voice actor.
Yeah, legit.
Okay, yeah, one, he is a voice... Like,
Ever seen
one,
the Lego
he
movie?
is a voice actor.
Hello?
And two, like... You can't say that Chris Pratt being a celebrity cast is bad and then say the rest of the cast
Yeah.
being a celebrities is okay. That's very hypocritical. And also, I don't understand what the problem is. Everyone's like, well, Charles Martinet should have voiced Mario. Listen, the guy's been voicing Mario in the games since like the beginning of time, and he said that he wants to keep playing Mario until he dies, which is understandable. But here's the thing. Do you really want that guy talking for 2 hours? Like, let's just assume this movie is an hour and a half, 2 hours. You need someone who can actually talk. Now, I'm not saying Charles Martinet can't, you know, do a good talking voice, but I just think having someone actually voice Mario was a better decision. Now,
Yeah.
who knows? Chris Pratt could have been a terrible cast, but with as cautious and careful as Nintendo is, I don't think it'll be a bad
Yeah.
thing.
I think. Yeah. Sorry. But it's like, just seconding your point of like, think back to Mario games. What does Mario sound like? Wah! Yahoo! Woo! 2 hours, just that. No, do you just have a problem with Chris Pratt? Like, what's up with Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt's great.
I think that's what it is. People have an issue with Chris Pratt, and they don't know why.
Like,
I think it's because he's just a really chill guy. Like, he's not one of those
guy.
celebrities who overly comments on political stuff. He just kind of stays in his own lane, and like he posted something about him and his wife the other day on Instagram, and people just lit him up for it. Like, oh, you're disrespecting your ex-wife and your son and all this, and it's like, dude, he's just trying to live. He's trying to vibe. Like, he's one of the most, like, not anti-Hollywood, but, like, he just kind of doesn't care about Hollywood. Like, he goes, does what's fun, and does what, movies he likes and wants to do, and then stays in his own lane.
The Tomorrow
which I think
War?
is more actors need to be like that.
The Tomorrow War is so good. He did such
is it really?
a good job.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, The Tomorrow War has one of the most intense action sequences I've ever seen that wasn't, like, scary. So, when, like, it was, like, a solid 10 minutes, and when it was over, I was like... and it wasn't, like, a scary thing. It was just, like, the most intense... Like, everyone go watch The Tomorrow War. It's really intense. So good.
Wow. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me. I was drinking water. So... I love Chris Pratt and his work. Obviously, I know him best in the Lego movie, but also like some other stuff. I think he's awesome, and honestly, with the kind of like the way he voice acts characters, I think of like Emmett. He's a funny, go-lucky character, and so is Mario.
Yeah.
And honestly, just tweak his voice a little bit, and I think he'd do a pretty good job. Like, I trust Nintendo and their choices. I'm excited for Jack Black with Bowser.
No, Loki.
Everyone's pretty excited about that one. But honestly, Chris Pratt does some good work, and I think it will stay the same for the Mario movie.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be good.
I think what happened, and this happened with Ryan Reynolds recently too, is he just got cast too much to the point where like everyone's like, oh, another Chris Pratt movie. It's like, it was like, what can't he do? And then like he was announced to voice Garfield for Sony's new movie, and they were like, oh my gosh, is anything safe from Chris Pratt's voice acting? And it's like, he's a great actor, but I understand like he's had like a lot of movies come out recently, and so he's just been like, a lot of stuff has been going on about him, and so it's like, I think a lot of people are just like ready to take a break from Chris Pratt. And Ryan Reynolds did the same thing, and he's acknowledged it, and he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a break from movies for a little bit, which is really interesting. But also, like, his movie Red Notice on Netflix did horrible, so maybe
I'm
Reynolds...
still gonna watch it.
I'm still gonna watch it
It
because
looks okay.
it's about drive, it's about power. I love Dwayne. Power. We take put in the hours and take what's ours.
I will say,
Dwayne.
aside from Chris Pratt being Mario, I think I'm most excited for... I'm really interested to see what Anya Taylor-Joy does with Princess Peach, because we've never, like... I don't know, Princess Peach has never really had a character, if that makes sense. Like, she's just kind of been like, oh, Mario, I'm trapped in another castle. Bowser kidnapped me. And I'm really interested to see if they go like a character route and like give her a character, kind of like how in 3D World, how she went with them in the game and wasn't like the damsel in distress. Like, I'm interested to see if they do that. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like the fan animations where they take like clips of Charlie Day and then animate Luigi to them. Oh
It
my
works.
gosh, that gives me so much hope.
It works.
Ugh.
I need to watch. I really want to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's been on my radar for a long time, but it looks kind of
Seth
odd.
Rogen.
Seth
Rogen is Donkey Kong. This makes me so excited. And apparently there's a rumor Donkey Kong is getting his own movie with Seth Rogen.
Oh boy.
So That could be really exciting.
I feel like I also have a lot of hope for Nintendo moving into the movie sphere, because we've talked about wanting a Zelda show for so long.
Okay, gang. Listen,
Like,
the Mario movie has to do good, and the Donkey Kong movie has to do good, so that way they'll make a Zelda show. Okay.
this is your homework.
And bring
Go.
back all of the voice actors from the show, I think.
From the
I
original
don't know.
Zelda cartoon.
I don't know. That might
Oh,
be
you mean from Breath of the Wild?
from Breath of the Wild. That's what I meant. Maybe.
I mean, it could work.
It could work. I don't know.
I
Chris
do
Pratt
like,
as Link, though. I wouldn't mind.
No, stop. No. No,
Link
you gotta
doesn't
get Tom
talk,
Holland as
Jackson.
Link. Come on.
Live action Zelda with Tom
Now,
Holland.
here's a personal theory I'm putting out there. I could totally be wrong. Shigeru Miyamoto himself said that the Mario movie is, quote, pretty much done. And it's not coming out until next December, which is a good thing, because that means they're giving a good, healthy, like, not development cycle, but, like, production cycle,
Yeah.
so that way,
Not like
you know, if it's
Frozen
basically
2.
done now, they have a whole year to start working on the Donkey Kong one,
not
so
like
that way when the
Frozen
Mario
2.
one comes out, man, you really gotta stop roasting Disney
Sorry.
like that. We can't have their hitmen at our doors.
Fine.
But by the time the Mario movie comes out next December, they'll be ready to announce and or show the Donkey Kong movie, and then so on and so forth, and they've got the cycle down. I will say, and I know I've said it already once, the Game Awards, I think it's going to be one to pay attention to this year, because if this movie is basically done, and they've already done the casting announcement, I think we could see like maybe a minute and a half teaser trailer. That just kind of gives us a general feel of what the movie's going to be about, what the characters are going to
For
do.
everyone's voices.
Everyone's
yeah,
voices.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
gonna
think
be
we
a
can see it
biggie.
because Jeff Keighley, the guy who runs the Game Awards, said we're going to have double digits in video game, movie, show, multimedia reveals, which I think the Sonic Movie 2 trailer is in there too.
I'm so excited.
I know they're making an Uncharted movie.
Not excited.
And they've got all this stuff. So I think the Mario movie could be thrown in there somewhere. So
The
we'll just have to wait
Uncharted
and see.
movie looks so bad. I'm not
But it's
excited.
got Tom Holland. It can't possibly
You
be
can't
bad.
say you can't
Tom
say if it has
Holland.
Tom Holland it's good. It also has Mark Wahlberg. You know how many bad
Yeah, that
movies
means it can't be bad.
You know how bad you know who's in Transformers? Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, hold on. Transformers 4 and 5, while still bad, were not like they're the good ones out of the Transformers movies. So, all right, gang.
This
We're moving into our last
This is the
segment,
big cheese.
This is the one
and this
I've
is
been
the one
waiting
y'all should be
for.
most excited
Oh
about.
boy.
So, at the beginning of the year, we all three made predictions for what we thought was going to happen with Nintendo this year. I'm going to go in backwards order. I'm going to go Jackson, then Megan, and then me. So, Jackson,
Yeah. What's up?
you said 5 things.
Okay, what'd I say?
You said we would be getting a new Mario Kart game. We did not.
That was more of a hope.
You said we were going to get all of the Skylanders games on Switch. We did not.
I forgot about that.
You said... See, this is why I told you guys not to go listen to the episode, because I wanted to surprise you
I forgot I said
with what
that.
you said.
Oh, that was stupid. I don't know why I said that.
You said...
I have no regrets, but it was hilarious.
You said more Animal Crossing updates, which we got. So you got 1. You're 1 to 3. More creative Mario games, i.e. Mario Galaxy 3. No. We literally got no new Mario games this year, aside from Mario Party, which was your like number 1 was a new Mario Party game. So
Called
you're
it.
2 for 5
2 for 5.
on that one.
Does creative Mario game count under Mario Party?
No,
Dang it.
because it's not creative.
Oh,
all right.
then.
Megan,
Okay. What did I get?
you did 4 and
4.
a sub note.
And a
I
sub.
put a sub note on here.
Okay.
So, number 4, more Animal Crossing updates,
Woo!
which we did get. Number 3, more 3DS ports. And you specifically called Miitopia before that direct.
Oh my god.
And then more Disney games. We're getting Disney Magical
Magic-
World 2. So you got that one. And then you said Wii games, which we got Skyward Sword, which counts as a Wii game, technically, because it was originally released on the Wii. So
my
you're
gosh.
currently 4 for 4. Do you want to know what your sub note is?
What is it?
I was listening back to the episode, and when you said more Disney games, you were the first one to say, "Can we get Kingdom Hearts on Switch?" And they confirmed this year that all of the Kingdom
Oh
Hearts
my
games are coming to Switch.
I got
So
it
you are
right.
5 for 5 on predictions for this year.
I don't.
Wow.
Wow. Speech.
I'm a
It's
I'm
crazy.
a sidekick
Speech.
with Nintendo.
Dang.
And then me, what did I say? More streaming on the Switch, which, hey, Twitch was put on the Switch yesterday. So, and that's technically a live streaming
You're
service.
reaching.
So I'm going to count that half correct.
Okay.
A big Zelda 35th anniversary celebration? No.
Cringe.
New first party games? Yes. Because we got Metroid Dread
Okay.
and a bunch of other stuff that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
I put Switch Pro / new Switch console, which I'm going to take halvesies on that one because
It was a
the
new Switch.
OLED is not, it's a new Switch, but it's not the Switch Pro.
Yeah.
And then my number one, which, my God, I would not shut up about this one. I think we all know what it is. Breath of the Wild 2, 2021.
You
Definitely
were
not.
very wrong.
Aged poorly.
Let me say, as I was watching that Nintendo Direct for E3, because that was like our big like, ooh, is it gonna be this year or not? As soon as they said Metroid Dread in early October, I was like, ooh, that's not good. And then they said like Shin Megami Tensei was in mid-November, and I was like, ooh, that's not good.
No.
And then they put Mario Party at the end of October. I was like, oh nope, it's next year. We didn't even have to get to the trailer, and I was like, oh, it's next year.
Which means that Nick
So-
lost the bet.
I got two, if you count my two halvesies
I
as
won.
one. I got 2.
Wow.
Megan did the best out of all of us. So,
I won.
Megan, since you got all 5 correct, would you like to tell us what is coming to Nintendo in 2022?
Please enlighten
Gosh, I don't
us.
know.
Tell us.
Let
Since
me
you seem to know something
Let me
that
use
we
my
don't.
powers. I'm not sure. I think we'll get more Breath of the Wild 2 news.
All right, just gonna write that
I
down.
think we'll get I think we'll get some kind of news for that. I'm really unsure because right now I've gotten everything I pretty much asked for, obviously.
Where do they go from here?
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I got
thinking.
because I can't say there's another Animal Crossing update because there isn't. There isn't
They're
going to be
not.
another big one. I think that's all we got for Animal Crossing.
I think what's so interesting is they put out like this chart of like, here's all of the games confirmed for next year, which is like Bayonetta, Splatoon, Breath of the Wild 2, which has a great logo, by the way. They finally dropped the logo for Breath of the Wild 2. It's just the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Can't wait. So you have like all these games on there for next year, and you look at it and you're like, what is even left for them? Like, we literally just got a Metroid game, so there's not going to be a new Metroid next year unless it's a remake. So I'm very interested to see where they go next year. I'm going to put in a prediction, and you guys can as well, for next year. I'm going to go out on a limb and say next year is going to be a good year for Zelda. Regardless of, like, whether or not they just pushed back the anniversary to next year, or, you know, we get a Zelda-themed OLED or whatever for Breath of the Wild 2, I think next year is going to be a good year for Zelda fans, and we are going to be glad that we sat through and waited.
Yeah. I think that's a good prediction. I'm gonna stick to my guns. I think more Mario Kart content has gotta be coming soon. We need it.
See, we got that other kart game, the knockoff Mario
The
Kart.
not Mario Kart. Was that officially
I remember
licensed?
watching it and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah, we were watching, we were like, that's Mario Kart. Was that
What
officially
is it, like
licensed?
Chocobo Racing?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what-
Yeah.
was that officially
Every game on
licensed?
Nintendo Switch is officially licensed.
That's so there's your Mario
They
Kart
have to be.
9.
I'm telling you.
Um
I saw a great chart on Twitter that was like, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sells well because there's no Mario Kart 9. And then it like cycles around. It's like, there will be no Mario Kart 9 because Mario Kart 8 sells so well. And then it's just like,
I just need
an
an
infinite
I just
cycle.
need
We're
an
never getting
update.
Mario Kart.
I just
9.
want an update.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for that. I still have hope for Skylanders on Switch.
Oh my gosh, you gotta let it go.
I would play them. That's the thing. I would play.
Yeah, you yourself and Yi
You, yourself,
would
and your sister.
and Yi.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll second a Mario Kart 9 because I'm trying to think
What else is there?
aside from Breath of the Wild 2, which
funny,
let's just
'cause, like-
assume Breath of the Wild 2 is their big Christmas holiday game next year, like it was supposed to be this year. What do they fill the rest of the year with?
Yeah.
Like, when
Because
I was trying
everything
to-
on their list of I hate to keep cutting you off, but everything on their list that they've shown is literally definitely coming out before June.
Yeah.
Bayonetta is the only thing that would not be coming before June. So, and assuming we get another February Direct, what do they even talk about? They've got to have I don't know.
And what I was gonna say is it was hard for me to think of something to say because Nintendo was announced a lot of stuff in the future, and it's what do I say that Nintendo hasn't already said? Oh, we'll get more Kingdom Hearts information. Well, duh, we will.
Yeah.
They already confirmed it. Or we'll get more Breath of the Wild 2
Yeah.
information. Well, duh, it's already been confirmed. I can't think of anything completely out of the blue. Maybe Tomodachi Life.
I think
Maybe
Oh,
I
that's right.
don't
There's a
know.
Kirby game next year.
maybe 2022 will just be the year for really good indie games.
Maybe.
I don't know.
We're
The
getting
Nintendo president.
We're getting a second sister game to Stardew Valley.
Okay.
The president of Nintendo said I don't know if it's him or the whole company feels really optimistic about going into the Switch's 6th year, which means they know something that we don't about how well sales are going to be. I think Switch sold 40 million.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's wrong. They sold as many Switches as they could make last month, including the OLED.
Yeah.
So they're definitely not stopping.
So yeah.
And they've got to have they got to be packing some serious fire for next year. And even year 7, 2023, and he literally said this we consider this halfway through the Switch's life cycle. We're 5 years in, which means if he thinks that's halfway, that means they think there's at least another 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 before they move on to the next thing. So we could
Did they,
literally
post
see a
something
Breath
on
of the
the
Wild
website?
3. No.
Huh.
We could see a Breath of the Wild 3 on Switch. We could see another 3D Zelda game on Switch after Breath of the Wild 2.
I believe it.
What did they post on the website that you showed me? It was the next
Oh, the future outlook thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's basically your Nintendo account is going to connect to whatever the next system is, which I hope is just a Switch 4K revision or whatever, and they stick with the Switch.
Yeah.
And that was,
Where
which
did they
I know
go
we're
from here?
running over an hour.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. And this seemed to be the general consensus on Twitter was the reason the Switch is so successful is because you can take your whole games library with you wherever you go. I can take it to school with me and play Smash with my friends in between classes. And I think they would be remiss if they just went back to, we're going to make another Wii. And it's just going to be at home and you're just going to be able to play it at home. I don't think they can go back to that. I think they really have to stick with the Switch.
Yeah, they
just have
figured
to-
it out. They figured it out.
They have to.
They
Where do you
peaked.
go?
The
They
Switch
literally
needs to
peaked.
become
There's nowhere
the
else they can
iPhone.
go.
But up.
The Switch needs to become the iPhone, where you just put out a new version every 3 or 4 years, and it's slightly better than the last one, and you can upgrade. Or if you don't upgrade, you can wait a little longer.
When is the Switch
but
gonna
everything
get a
is backwards
camera?
compatible.
Switch with a camera?
We can have a camera. The
I
DS
can't
had
wait
a
to take
camera.
selfies on my Nintendo
Same.
Switch.
Wow. You wanna reel it in?
Yeah, we gotta
Thank you
reel
for
it in
having
here, gang.
me.
Yeah.
It was great to have you back.
Thank you.
It's been
good
too
to
long.
be back.
It's been too long.
Yes, it has been.
All right, gang. Now that we've reeled it in. Oh, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the episode, but for anyone who's listened this far in, if you want to engage with the episode, check the description. There should be a poll or a question of the episode. to put in there. It should be like, what were you hoping for this year? What did you think was going to come this year? What do you think for next year? Like, whatever you want to throw down there, go for it.
Yep.
Go for it. Let us know what you think. So, with that being said, thank you for listening today. If you want to stay up to date with the podcast, you can follow us on Instagram at The Nerdiest Podcast or tweet us at Nerdiest Podcast. If you have feedback or a question you want to submit, you can do so through the Contact Us page on our website.
If you enjoy what we do here, please consider giving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen. If you're going to leave a review, leave 5 stars. We don't care about your negative feedback. So, also, the best way, most important way for us to grow is for you to tell your friends. Share them a link through iMessage, email, Skype chat, your Discords, like your Reddit. Send it in your holiday cards. We get the word out there. Word of mouth really is the best way for us to grow.
Again, thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the next episode.
Bye!